This video is sponsored by Manta Sleep.
Another one?
It's the 18th century, and cats are fed up with sailboats. Turns out riding a glorified napkin across the Atlantic Ocean is not only dangerous, but also loses out on a ton of money. Relying solely on wind meant only sailing during select parts of the year, as well as a very high risk of sinking. Just think about all the captains and crewmen lost at sea. Think about all the money. Oh my god, think about all the money, this is terrible! And so, with the invention of the steam engine, it was only a matter of time before the first commercial steamboat would be built in 1807. This bad boy could travel over 150 miles in 32 hours, which is actually horrifically slow, but hey, progress is progress. And in a swift attempt to try and control transatlantic trade, yes, you heard that right, the whole ocean, an American cat by the name of J.P. Morgan created a trust called the International Mercantile Marine Company. And backed with enough capitalistic spirit to eviscerate Cuba, they managed to acquire White Star Line, a huge competitor in the steamboat industry. Now this right here, it infuriated Britain. They excused the accent, the Tea Party, even the Revolutionary War. But American steamboats? Oh hell no! This was a hill they were ready to die on. Again. In response, they funded steamboat competitor Cunard Line to build two world-class ships, the Mauretania, known for having the fastest Atlantic crossing, and the Lusitania, known for being the most luxurious ship in the world. That got torpedoed. Upon seeing this, White Star Line chairman J. Bruce Ismay and Harland and Wolff chairman Lord Perry got together and devised a plan to build an even larger ship, one that would not only be fancy, but also reliably safe. But you know who's reliably annoying? My roommate. Every single day at 5 a.m, this man plays the worst possible alarm, turns on all the lights, and then does that.
Is it fine
like,
if my mom sleeps over?
But out of nowhere, Manta Sleep swooped in and saved me. They sent me their lightweight, adjustable, luxurious pro sleep mask, and when I tell you this thing is comfortable, I mean it. Built for side sleepers like me, the material on this bad boy is magnificent, as if my eyes were being cradled by a soft, pillowy marshmallow. The best part is that it could fit all head shapes and sizes, and if something can fit my gargantuan forehead, I can't help but be impressed. I also had my friends try the mask on with the Manta Sleep Cool Eye Cups, and they loved it.
Yo, hello?
A little too much.
Yeah, that's actually pretty decent, yeah. I mean, what's that?
What? So if you want higher quality sleep, check out the link in the description and make sure to use my code WTC for 10% off your next purchase. The Titanic began construction in 1909 in the hands of reputable shipyard Harland and Wolff. This behemoth was expected to be 883 feet long and 175 feet high, a record-breaking size, beating the previous record by a whopping 0.4 feet. Kinda petty if you ask me. But priced at a staggering $8.2 million or $280 million today, I'd be pissed if it didn't break any records. This unnecessary size allowed the vessel to carry more than 1,300 passengers and 900 crew members. And oh man, do I wish I was a part of that 1,300. Tippity-top first-class passengers could expect a large swimming pool, massage room, gymnasium, and most importantly, the fastest path out the ship. For food, Italian a la carte and French cafes lined the walls. Perfect for when the ship sinks and you've got to escargot. And you've got to baguette out of there. And you've got to macaroon for it. Now for a first-class suite ticket to the old ship, it could cost upwards of $130,000 in today's money, with even the cheapest third-class ticket costing $1,000. So the passengers aboard were some distinguished, bougie felines. But this was where it all began to fall apart. So you see, the Titanic had more than enough space to fit all passengers on a lifeboat. I'm talking 64 lifeboats, with each being able to hold 64 cats. If you do the math, that's 4,096 cats. However, even with all of this space, government regulations at the time restricted the Titanic to only carry 16 boats. Let's see the figures, Carl. Oh, you hate to see it. Wait, stop right there. White Star Line's breaking the rules? They're sneaking in lifeboats? Let's go, baby! Let's see those numbers now. Oh, shit. I mean, yeah, they broke the rules in a good way, but come on, 4 collapsible lifeboats? 4? You might as well throw in a little pool floaty while you're at it. But still, this problem to White Star Line was about as important as human rights to Nestle. Shit was an afterthought. They designed the Titanic to have 4 out of its 16 compartments completely obliterated and still be alright. This unique trait earned the Titanic a badge of honor that read, wait for it, unsinkable. It just doesn't get any worse than that, does it? Exactly 3 years later, on March 31st, 1912, the Titanic finished its construction. All it took was a few thousand steel plates, a few million rivets, and 3,000 workers. On the bright side, the whole construction only had 8 deaths, which is actually pretty low. The Titanic's maiden voyage would expect a total of 3 stops. Starting from Southampton, England, it would take a teeny trip to Cherbourg, stumble over to Queenstown, and then arrive at New York. In total, this meant a 3,000-mile journey. But before the Titanic even started its journey, it nearly crashed. As the Titanic was released into the water, its Brobdingnagian weight caused a humongous shift in the water around it. This shift was so large that it caused nearby SS City of New York to completely snap out of its cables and fly towards the Titanic. A nearby tugboat began pulling it back, but it couldn't compare to the unstoppable force barreling towards $280 million. In a panicking mess, Captain Smith ordered the Titanic to pull back last second, and they missed each other by 4 feet. 4 fucking feet. And the most horrifying part? The trip was delayed by an entire hour. The trips to Cherbourg and Queenstown could not have gone any better. The Titanic rode the waters as smooth as a middle-aged scalp, and on April 11th, with 2,240 passengers aboard, the Titanic finally started its journey to New York. Everything was going to plan. The guests were happy, the crew was relaxing, and Captain Smith had a big old grin on his face.
Yo, there's ice ahead, man. You gotta move. You gotta get out of there.
The night was as clear as ice, and under such nice conditions, Captain Smith believed that his crew could see any potential threats. And believe it or not, he was actually right. Nah, I'm just kidding, that shit didn't work. On the early morning of April 15th, Captain Smith was off duty when out of nowhere, a crew member spotted a ginormous iceberg 1,500 feet ahead. Going at a speed of 25 miles per hour, he had less than a single minute to relay the information before they crashed. He urgently notified Officer Murdoch, who ordered the ship to steer left as hard as possible. But in spite of these orders, the Titanic was just too large to maneuver in time. Now, if the Titanic had only broken 4 of its compartments, everything would have been okay. Luckily, they broke 6. Knowing the ship was sinking, crew members hurried to get people in lifeboats as fast as possible. However, they were completely unqualified. The Titanic crew had only performed a singular lifeboat drill. Captain Smith ordered crew members to quote-unquote put the women and children in and lower away. And although this was respected, some of the crew interpreted it as only women and children. Let's just say a couple of boats left half empty. Once all 20 lifeboats had been used up, remaining passengers had nowhere left to go. All 1,500 of them. In under 3 hours, the Titanic was engulfed underwater, subjecting all remaining cats to the torturous hands of Mother Nature. Stranded in the middle of the ocean, a majority of the 1,500 would die to the freezing temperatures of the Atlantic. The remaining survivors would pass away on board the ship, breathing their last breaths in rooms slowly filling up with water. It's estimated today that hundreds of more passengers could have been saved with better coordination. Not only were lifeboat seats wasted, but investigators found nearby ship SS Californian completely unresponsive during the accident. Stuck in an ice field 19 miles away from the Titanic, Captain Lord watched 8 white rockets shoot up from the Titanic and assumed they were celebrating. They look like they're having so much fun. Additionally, SS Californian's wireless operator tried to inform the Titanic that they were stuck in an ice field. And like any other mature, grown adult, the Titanic's operator told them to quote-unquote, shut up. Amazed with such a poetic response, the SS Californian's operator immediately went to sleep, and guess what happens 2 hours later? The Titanic sends a distress signal.
Yo, man, we're all gonna die, man. I'm sorry I told you to shut up, but please come help us, please.
Have y'all ever heard of the golden rule? On a more happy note, the Titanic did influence a lot of positive change. An international conference for safety of life at sea declared that 1, there must now be a lifeboat for every passenger on board a ship, and 2, ships must now be on radio 24/7. And cut out the attitude while you're at it. Surprisingly, J. Bruce Ismay and Lord Perret, the 2 cats who orchestrated the entire project, actually ended up surviving the sinking. Ismay had been fortunate enough to catch a lifeboat, and Lord Perret got sick the day of the trip. So in the end, yes, the story of the Titanic is a tragedy, but at least we got a good movie out of it. Wait, why are there so many of them?